Don't underestimate the power of Twitter when it comes to the race for the White House in 2012. President Obama used social media to raise $745 million in the 2008 campaign, $235 million of that from small donors. And Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann, trying to take a page from his book, 3/4 of the $1.7 million she's raised this year is also from small donors. Alicia Menendez is senior advisor for the New Democrat Network. Jeff Johnson is contributor to MSNBC and thegrio.com. So Barack Obama has more than 8 million followers on Twitter, almost as many as Lady Gaga. Is this really, Jeff, the way of the future here?
Well, it is the way of the future from a communication standpoint, but the administration and the president is not only not going to win the future, but they're also not going to win the White House online if they don't have a clear message. Obama's success in 2008 was really about a message that people could resonate with, and he was able to connect with people with that message. If he's not creating jobs, if they're not improving schools, if they're not creating opportunity, he can put out every tweet that he wants to, but it's not going to resonate the way it did in 2008.
Alicia, it's an interesting perspective. Is it harder for someone like Barack Obama to use that to his advantage?
No, not at all. I think at the end of the day, this is just really incredible research. More than any focus group or poll, it's going to show you which messages are resonating and which aren't. And it gives you a lot of free data, and it shows you people's geography. It shows you when they are tweeting. It shows you whether they are influencers, how many people follow them. So I think this is just really good research that the White House is now understanding they can use to refine their messages.
It also lets you take sort of good stuff, things you know that work, and get them out to a wider audience. Let me show you an example. The White House trying to capitalize on viral videos. Take a look at this.
From the people who brought you universal health care and the huge backlash to universal health care comes the incredible true story.
As our economy added another...
It was essentially a promo for the White House Correspondents' Dinner. 8 million people watched the president's speech. Is this one of the ways to win, Jeff?
Well, again, I think as Alicia has said, it's a way to get instant feedback. It's a cheaper polling system. You're not paying a couple $1,000s for a pollster to be able to tell you information as much as you're getting immediate feedback from actual American citizens. But the key piece is I think the White House has done a decent job recently of putting the message out that they want to put out. I think they've used the White House website in an effective way to engage with not only press releases and live footage, but pushing out messaging. And if they can continue to do that and use Twitter as a gauge, it'll be extremely effective.
Right.
But the message is clearly
Alicia,
what it's about.
It's interesting. You've got David Plouffe essentially watching Twitter while the president is giving speeches. But is it sort of a double-edged sword? Because it seems everybody has a camera phone, a blog, a Twitter account. So you can't control what goes viral. And, you know, we've seen how that's worked against people in the past, sort of the macaca effect, some people are calling it. How do you keep things from going out of control?
Well, I think when you have a very disciplined principal like Barack Obama, that you start from a good place. And I think that the White House is beginning to understand how you do control the message as much as possible. Listen, if you just tweet out to your followers, that's just tweeting into an echo chamber. And the only people you're talking to are your base. And I think part of what they're understanding is that this is more nuanced. You need to use that hashtag. They owned the immigration hashtag during their speech, and what that meant was they had people tuning in who weren't necessarily their followers. They were actually reaching the middle, and that, I think, is going to be core to their utilizing this technology.
Alicia, Jeff, good to see you. Have a great weekend.
Thanks,
Thank you.